Today we are going to take a look at graphing using Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. And we're going to look in particular at a question that was assigned to my grade 7 class the other day. And I had a few responses or questions from them via email. How do we do this graphing? And so, of course, we can do it by hand, and some of you may have done it by hand because you weren't sure how to do it on a computer, and that's fine. But for those of you that are curious or would like to do it on the computer, I'll give you a little rundown today on how to do that. So this is regarding question number 23 in your assignment. I'll read it out for you here quick, and then we'll go about to the details. A student poured hot water into a plastic cup, a styrofoam cup, and a styrofoam cup with newspaper wrapped around it. Each had a thermometer in it. The student recorded the water temperature for each cup in 10 minutes, and it says see table below. And so the first step is graph the results for each cup. So what we'll need to do is we need to recreate this graph or this table into a table in Google Sheets. So if you're not sure how to get to Google Sheets, you open up a tab. You should have, if you go to the Google main page, you should have the little honeycomb at the top here, and just go down to Google Sheets right there. It'll open up a new document for you. Just create a blank one. And then you can work on this here. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and work on the one I'd already created here. So you can work right at the top if you want. I usually like to give it a couple spaces. So we need to recreate the table. So time in minutes, container 1, and temperature in degrees Celsius. So I'll give you a little trick on how to get the degrees Celsius in there. Go back into your Word document or Google document here and go insert. And where is it here? Special characters, insert special characters. And then you can just do keyword. You can draw it out too, and I just type in Celsius. There it is. And if you click on it, it'll insert it. And I know we don't want it there, so we'll X that out there, cut it from there. So that would have been edit, cut. And then I'll come back over here and I'll insert it right there, Control V. Okay, so that's container 1. I'll copy this cell, container 2, container 3. We need to go back and rename them. So that's container 2. This is container 3. One thing I like to change the formatting on these guys so that they wrap around. So when we get over here, this is text wrapping, so we'll wrap them. Want them aligned at the bottom, and I'd want them center aligned. And I think I would like them bold as well. Okay, that looks good there. Okay, now we'll put in the data, and then we need to, well, we don't have to do it in any particular order, but I usually like to put in my independent variable here. So this is the independent variable. This will be the x-axis of the graph. And then these are the dependent variables here. We have 3 of them. The variable is actually just one variable, temperature, but we have 3 different data sets here. So that is our dependent data, or if you will, this is our manipulated data, and this is our responding data. Okay, so let's go ahead and type that in. All right, just going to do this here, and what I want is I'm going to center this. And a little thing, I think sometimes it doesn't work out properly, so I'm going to force this. I'm going to go to Format Number and go into Number here, and you'll notice that it attaches these decimals on here, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to decrease the number of decimal spaces to 0. None of our data over here has any decimal places. Okay, and in fact, should do the same thing for format number. And I'll see what it does here. 75. Okay, it's got to decrease that down to no decimal points as well. Okay, and while I'm here, I might as well center align it as well. All right, now this is just me being fussy. I like to put my borders on things here. That just allows me to change the color here, and then I'll put a border around just so it looks nice. Not necessary. Okay, so this is step one. Absolutely, you must have your data in there. I highly recommend you put in your, don't just put in the numbers, put in these titles as well, because if we highlight this data table now, and we go to insert chart right over here. Now, I had opened up and I'm on a split screen here. If you're full screen, you might see it already. But if it's hidden, you just click on those three little dots there and it'll bring up these tools. And insert chart is this one right here. And if you just hover over it, it'll say insert chart. So we'll click on that and chart editor. Now, it might have some different defaults that come up for you. It's got different suggestions here. Quite often line chart comes up. I think you would like to do a scatter plot. So whatever it is, if it doesn't say scatter chart there, toggle through and it's near the bottom here, scatter chart, okay? You'll have your x-axis should show up by default, time in minutes, and then your series, which is your using your this data on the y-axis here, should be container 1, container 2, container 3. Depending on what it does automatically for you, you should be using row 3. It's row 3 is my row 3. So depending on where you put your data, if you put your headers right in the top here, it'll likely say row 1. And then use column A as labels. So that is under time, but it'll use that as labels down there. Okay, now customize. This is the part where we need to spend a little bit of time. Okay, now just for a second, I'm just going to make this large screen. Okay, so we are going to come down over here and maybe I'll just, give me a sec. I want you guys to be able to see all the features. And down to the bottom. Okay, so under the setup here, chart style, well, that here, just background color border code, you can play around with that. That's not what I'm concerned about. Okay, chart title. It did not give us a very good chart title. So let's see. Let's see, what is this really about? It's about temperature drop in insulated cups. Temperature drop in insulated cups, or let's call them containers. Okay, so we type that in there. Unless you want to adjust anything, I like to have them centered, so I'll go center alignment here. Bold is not bad for a title as well. You can change the text color as well. Okay, so lots of different features there. Okay, now your series. Okay, I don't think we'll touch that right now. What we want to do here is notice how the data still seems tight together here. I think we can adjust our vertical axis here. And the minimum value is obviously going down to 0 right now. And if we look at our data, I think our data had what? What was our lowest? Yeah, 44 was our lowest. So we come back here. Oops. So click on that. Double click just anywhere on the graph to bring this table up again. So we are going to go to vertical axis and our minimum value, let's set it as 40. And you see how that changed the axis, the lowest value is 40 there. And we can see our values, our lines are going to spread out. Now, the one other thing here, go to series, and we're going to leave it to apply to all series. is that we want to add what's called a trend line. Okay, and so that is the line of best fit for these data points. We just want to be able to see it there. Anything else on the graph? Let's see. Okay, we've got our title nicely for the x-axis. So let's go to chart and axes titles. The chart title we changed. We don't have a vertical axis title, and that should be temperature, and that should be in degrees Celsius. I just went Control V because I'd copied something earlier here. So there we go, degrees Celsius. If you can't get the symbol in there, it's too much hassle for you, just put a capital C will be just fine, okay? And so you got your temperature. The only other thing I personally like is to change where the legend is. And I like to have it on the right side. So it's up over here. Okay, and you have got your graph, you guys. So let's just collect it here. If you wanted to insert that into your assignments, you just, let's see, edit, copy. And then if you come back over to the assignment here, you should be able to just get rid of the answer here. And I'm going to want this centered. And then you should just be able to paste it right in there. And then you can link to spreadsheet or you can paste it unlinked. The only difference would be is if I change the data, if I want it to be live, and so if I made changes to the data, it would automatically update. For us, it really doesn't matter. I'm just curious here. Yeah, that's interesting. And so there you go. You've inserted your graph, and now determine which results go with each cup. So now you're going to decide, is container one the plastic cup, the styrofoam cup, or the styrofoam cup with the newspaper around it. So you decide which one is which based on the data. All right, you guys, I hope that helps. Feel free to contact me if you still need help with doing your graphs. You can do them by hand, but I'll be honest, as you move forward in your education, this is a skill that is very valuable and you'll be able to repeatedly use over and over again. All right, you guys, I'll see you when I see you, and take care.